afternoon. We just, well, we've got another 18 miles or so to go before we can actually even get into the harbour. So hoping that this speed that we're going, we're kind of trying to average 8 knots to get there before the sun goes down. There's nothing worse than having to anchor in the dark when you're not familiar with the anchorage. But Ozboss, the boat that we're travelling with, they'll be there before us, so they'll help us out. But it's been a relatively uneventful journey. It's been 2 nights, 2 days. We did on the first night though snap a rudder stock bolt that holds the rudder stock and the rudder together. Anyway, we lost steerage. So we just had to quickly drop the main and fill the headsail and just drift a bit in the pitch black, no moon, and just try and fix that before we could carry on. Otherwise we would have drifted a bit until someone could come and come get us. So look, we're making great distance to get to Darwin, which we were hoping to get to for the start of October. It's now the 23rd of September, so we've got a week essentially to get from Gove to Darwin, which is more than doable. So we hopefully we'll get these great winds that we've got all the way from Lizard Island up the last bit of the east coast of Queensland, round the corner of Cape York, then across the Gulf of Carpentaria, which we've heard can be quite an interesting trip. But for us it was, well, it's a piece of cake. We just had excellent winds, just the wee incident with the rudder, which at the time was not so little. Also worth a mention is the fact that we don't actually have a chart card for this area of the world. We thought we did, but that was a bit of an oversight. We just realised, well, first thing this morning when the chart started running out on our Garmin chart plotter, that we don't actually have a card for the Northern Territory. So we do into Indonesia, but we're not in Indonesia. We're trying to go into Gove, and we've got no charts for that, so we're having to use Navionics solely. That'll be fine. And we do have Overtel maps as well, but we just haven't downloaded any maps for this area. But we've got internet now, so we might as well do that while we can. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. So this is what our chart looks like. Not overly helpful and certainly not detailed, but I had a joke with Priya about it earlier about how we literally have terrible charts. She didn't find it as funny as what I did. But
I didn't find it funny at all, but we arrived in Gove before dark and set out again a few days later.
oh my goodness, big shark just went behind the boat. Wonder what it is.
Big one. As we left Gove, we could see the burning of scrublands, which is extremely important for the biodiversity of the Northern Territory. Skilled Indigenous rangers use traditional knowledge and techniques to fight fire with fire to reduce the likelihood of large, uncontrolled wildfires.
So we're about to go through the Gugari Rip, or the hole in the wall.
In the Wessels.
In the Wessels, just north of Gove. And it's quite a well-known gap, which I think you save about 35 miles on the trip through to Darwin. But you have to time it because obviously the tide runs pretty fast through there, or the current's pretty fast. And you get all that information from the Gove Yacht Club. I'm sure it's available online, but we've got it from the Yacht Club in Gove. The passage can be made at any stage of the ebb tide, which is the falling tide. But if you choose to pass through at full ebb tide on a spring tide, you would certainly not have time to relax and enjoy the scenery. And you would probably require a change of underpants when you were spat out of the western side, which I think pretty much sums it up. It could run up to about 9 knots, from what I understand.
To our last 400 or so nautical miles, and noticeably hotter, isn't it, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, heaps hotter. Zeffie just can't help herself, she's doing some accounting. Priya is... You were reading about Michelle Obama, and then what are you doing?
Playing game.
Are you? How hot is it, Reef?
Very.
The last miles remained kind to us, albeit hot, with the occasional Crocs swimming by.
The lock gates outside Cullen Bay Marina. We've just arrived in Darwin, but we've got to sit on this fuel dock for the night, and then we're going to have biosecurity come and put some chemicals down into our saltwater pipes so that we're good to go into the marina.
What we've got to do is just go in through the lock gates, which are just open over there, and we just tie off to the side. We've been given a position to get to within the sort of lock, and then tie off, and then they'll let the water out, and we're slightly higher than the water in the marina, so we'll drop a little bit and then we'll go forward into the marina.
7.9, I think. Are we 7.9, bud?
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Zippy?
It's pretty cool. It's trapped though.
Sorry?
Something's gonna go wrong.
Oh, you feel trapped? Yeah, I know. It's not a great feeling.
No. I feel like those doors are gonna open and there's gonna be a whole bunch of crazy people or secret people or something like that.
You've been watching far too many movies.
You see heaps of monkeys in the marina here too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Can you fish in the marina?
Oh, it sucks.
So we are here in Darwin Marina. Mum is going to drive us through the floodgates. We are going to tie up on this berth here.
We'll just tie your boat on for now. I might need a hand just to move it forward. They've just taken off, sorry.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Within the first few days in Darwin, we'd met some local wildlife and visited the World War II fuel tunnels.
Zippy's decided she's going to calculate the capacity for this tunnel. Oh my goodness, and you get a chance to win a prize, Zippy, if you get it right. You've got to send it to their website. Don't get it wrong, buddy.
I won't get it right.
We enjoyed outdoor markets and celebrated Che's 12th birthday.
So we're going on a road trip of the Kakadu and Litchfield and the Cassin Gorge and areas like that. We're going for about a week. We've met some people in Daly River and we're going to go stay with them when they're going to show us around the school and things like that, which is going to be really cool.
Yeah, because it's a First Nations or Aboriginal people community, isn't it? So, yeah, we're really excited about that. But, oh my gosh, we've just about packed up the entire boat.
For a week.
It's about 5 days, actually. It's not quite a week.
6 days, I think.
I think the camper van gets taken back in the sixth day.
Yeah.
It's too hot.
And it is roasting hot. Yeah, we're all dying.
I'm just looking up what the humidity is in Darwin right now, and it's 83%.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's why we're so sticky.
Yeah. It says it's supposed to be 28 degrees, but I don't believe that. It's so much hotter than that.
Our journey into Kakadu National Park began with a stop at Cahill's Crossing, which borders Arnhem Land and Kakadu. It's a notoriously dangerous causeway across the East Alligator River due to the predatory saltwater crocodiles. drove to a burr to see some of Kakadoo's famous rock art. They depict the abundance of foods in the area, and some were our first interactions with non-Aboriginal people.
Some of these paintings are estimated to be 5,000 years old. So these paintings are actually drawn from ochre and animal blood.
Thylacines.
Once lived in Kakadu but are now extinct. It is believed that their numbers started to decline after dingoes came to Australia about 4,000 years ago. It is assumed that the painting was done before thylacines became extinct, so it is estimated this painting is thousands of years old.
Gosh, and there's rock art under the ledge. And everyone is baking. Kakadu truly is an incredible landscape, thriving in scorching temperatures. And while here admiring the panoramic views, we could see controlled fires doing their job to keep the park healthy. A visit to Kakadu wouldn't be complete without a journey along the Yellow River. This was one of the highlights of our trip. I'll let the images speak for themselves.
That we should cut down.
Just done the Yellow River cruise here in Coenda, and honestly I'd say it's one of the best cruises we've ever done. There was crocodiles everywhere, there was lots of really cool birds, and there was just so much fish life. You could see it just constantly in the water. It was really very cool.
I think the birds were the highlight though, weren't they? There were so many. And the wallaby.
Definitely the crocodiles.
Oh, the crocodiles.
Crocodiles, wallaby.
Maybe the birds were just the most varieties.
Yeah.
There were 35 crocodiles.
Oh my goodness, really? Before leaving Kakadu National Park, we stopped at Norlange for more rock art, but left when we were wilting. Join us next time as we continue on to Katherine, stop in Daly River, and finish our tour through Litchfield National Park.